Hello again, I am Jim Bob, and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team. Here on the PS5, we are continuing Season 5. We are with Ferrari, having sold our team to Cadillac, and they are flying high at the top of the Constructors' standings at the moment. We are just about at the halfway point. It's round 12. We're heading to Silverstone for a very wet British Grand Prix. So we're 4 days away. As you can see, we are expecting it to be very wet on Sunday. Rain is going to be in full effect. We are looking at the potential for full wet tyres, if not all throughout the race, and certainly I would imagine that part of it. I would imagine it's going to be dry at no point during the Grand Prix itself, although we have seen weather forecasts like this before, and it has been mostly dry and then just rained a little bit heavy at the end of a Grand Prix. So we'll have to see what happens. We won't really know until we get to race day itself, which means we might have to be a little careful with the tyres just in case as we work our way through the weekend. But I think it's going to be pretty much a washout, this Grand Prix. How you doing, Dino? How you doing, Sam? Army, good to see you guys. Let's continue to advance time. We've got some scout reports coming and a facility refurb about to drop. There we go. Helipad is back to its best at level 5. Let's check out our scout report. So we've got a report on Marco Peroni. His training stat is pretty low. Aptitude's good, so that means that his staff will have, or the pit crew would have a basic leadership of 90. Or a stat of 90, but the training is not great. That would be nice. Actually, no, aptitude is not that. It's leadership that gives the value, so they would have a maximum cap of 80. Hiring him would definitely be a step backwards for us. We're not going to be doing that. Ricardo Adami. There we can see very, very strong stats. We can bring him back. That would be good. Let's take a look at Davide Paganelli as the head of Aero. This is more just for scouting our purposes. I have no intention of getting rid of Tondi, but I just wanted to see how good this guy was. It's not bad. 91 in the cooling, 91 in the medium speed downforce, 93 in airflow sensitivity, mid to high 80s everywhere else. Yeah, he's not bad at all. Let's see, race preview. There is the current standings. As you can see, Cadillac starting to run away with the constructors title. They are 165 points clear from us at the moment, and they're stretching that with every Grand Prix at the moment. Oscar and Kimi now have first and second locked as well. Charles is hanging on in there. He's 11 points away from Kimi, and he is 29 points behind Oscar. Joe, unfortunately, having kept as close as he could early on, is now 80 points away from Oscar. So it looks as though any hope we had in either title is pretty much gone now. It looks like it's going to be a battle between those three drivers for the drivers title and Cadillac on their own for the constructors. We're going to be in a fight with Red Bull. They are basically relying on Charles for all of their points. We at least have two drivers who are chipping in. Mr. Nagel, Red Bull's second driver, Ludwig, is not doing his job to anything like the required necessity to bring those points in. So let's take a quick look at our board. They are still delighted, despite the fact that mistakes were made last night, and we only actually finished with one car at the end after a disappointing sprint as well. So not a great weekend for us, but the board are still on side. They're still happy with us. Money is still tight, and it's going to remain tight for a while. So we're just going to have to pick and choose where we spend it. Let's advance time a little bit more. Got a couple of spare parts about to drop. There we go. Spare chassis and a spare rear wing. We do need to use the money from this weekend to refurbish our memorabilia room. That is now going to start causing problems. So have to spend the money on that. And we are now ready to go into the Grand Prix weekend. Let's see. It's recommending a 2-stop as the best strategy. Well, that all depends on what the weather's going to do, because we know it's going to have a heavy rain forecast, but we don't know how much of that is going to be wet. So I can play that by ear. Let's set our targets. 15th for Fudo and 18th for Zhou. Should breeze through both of those targets, and hopefully we won't run out of fuel tonight.
Welcome and come on in to the home of British motor racing. We're here in legendary Silverstone, where the very first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix was held back in 1950. It's a place where every tuft of grass breathes motorsport, and the crowd are already crackling with excitement. In the last round, we saw the perfect blending of strategy and performance lead to a well-earned win. But can they pull it off again here? Now let's crack on with the weekend.
All right, let's get our car set up. Narrow-ish kind of setup window in some areas for this car. So I'm going to start off first of all by dropping out the engine parts. I'm going to keep that gearbox in the car. We will be switching our ERS over today as well. We do still have 2 more. I may even potentially put a new engine in for this circuit. I don't know, because some of the grid delayed putting in a new engine, so they're going to have more power than us if they've got a newer engine. Do I want to keep the other 2 engines as good as I can for the run-in? It's a toughie. We're going to Hungary next. I think we might run a new engine tonight. Then we'll go back to the 73 for Hungary. Then we'll go back to the engine we used tonight for Spa. Probably go back to the other engine again for Zandvoort, and then go back to a newish, if not new, engine for Monza. So we'll bounce around with our parts, I think, a little bit over the next couple of races. Let's see. So Silverstone, it's normally 17 laps because it is quite a long circuit. So we're going to go with 20. Let's go with 20. You can always up the number of laps on the next leg if we need to. We'll go 20 there as well. There we go. And as for the setup, the front wing is normally in the sort of 5.5 to 6 range. It's usually one of those 2 values. Not always. Can dip a little lower than that, but I don't think it normally goes above 6. So I'm going to start with a 6. Rear wing is almost always 11.5 around the circuit. It could potentially go to a 12, but that's more, I think, if our downforce levels are really, really bad. So if it does need to be changed, it's more likely to go to an 11. The roll bar is normally in this window. So I'm going to go in the middle of that. And then the camber and the toe, this is where things can be a bit weird. So I'm going to go a little higher on this one, and we'll probably go a little bit lower on the other car. And we'll hedge our bets that way. There we go. So let's see. Let's go with a little bit less there. We'll go with an 11.5. We'll go up to a 9.1 on that one. And then I'll go with that, I think. for this car and see how they shake out. Let's hit the track. Oh, no, wait. I did say I was going to put our rookies in, didn't I? We're just going to give Arvid a run, I think, at his home Grand Prix, because he is a young British driver. So let me check as well. Do I have any other parts I need to fit? Still only got the one underfloor, which we're giving to Joe. All right, let's send them out. Once I switch Arvid onto the mediums. There we go. I'll get there in the end. So Ollie Behrman in again from McLaren. Wow, they're using him almost every race now.
Radio check, okay, loud and clear.
He's sitting in for Teddy Porkchop.
Focus on lap of preparation at the moment.
Anybody else?
Bobby.
Galovic is in for Lawson at Haas. Pepe Marti is in for Lance Stroll at RB. That's it. And we have faults or damaged engine components for McLaren and for Aston. So if they go orange during practice, they'll get changed out before qualifying. If they go orange during qualifying, they'll get switched out and will probably, before the race, and will probably force a pit lane start as a result. See, do we see what Arvid's number is? Number 50. There we go, he's done a lap. So let's speed time up a little bit.
How's the tire, you think?
Tires at the moment are on low side. All right, we've got our first bit of feedback. We're halfway through Arvid's driver development run, so we need to make sure he stays out long enough for that. Probably have to extend his stint a little bit. 87% feedback from Joe. That's not too bad. It's a good starting point to work from. And he's at 97%. Very nice. %79% on Arvid. Couple more laps and he'll be done. There we go. He's done just before he gets to the pits. Beautiful. Right. Little tweak needed. Let's make it to the camber. Not the camber, sorry, the toe. So that we don't mess around with traction or straights or oversteer in the process. Let's bring that down a couple of clicks to there and see if that works. If it doesn't, we can always go the other way. But that will keep our traction, straights, and oversteer in the same positions, and it will have the effect that we need on braking and cornering. Just whether we've gone the right way or not is up for debate. Let's take a look at Joe. Braking stability needs to change, so that is going to need to increase. Let's push that up a little bit more as well. Let's go to... Let's go to that. Give that a go. And that's it for this session. Nice and simple. Behrman and Russell have both now gone orange on their parts. Let's see what parts are actually going to be replaced. So gearbox for Russell and gearbox in Porsche's car as well. So they'll have brand new gearboxes for the next practice session. There's about 10 minutes of the session or so left. That shouldn't take very long to get through. Once again, Sauber's looking good at the moment. Again, it's just a practice, so you can't really read too much into it, but they're both up there in the top 6. They really have been able to carry across the pace they had at the end of last season into this year and build on it. They've been consistently scoring points again, but right from the beginning of the year this year. See if they can keep it going all the way through the second half of the season as well. All right, so Fudo's in the car. We'll give him some extra laps. We'll give him 30 laps because he's only got the 2 sessions to run. We've made the changes to the cars. Let's go back to another 20 laps here.
Two, one, green at the moment.
Sauber consistently getting top 10s with your save. Yeah, I mean, Valtteri, if he's there, will always do a good job because he is well rated in this game. Oh, little mistake for Ocon there. Locking up at Stowe.
That won't help their chances, and they'll find themselves at a disadvantage.
Blah, don't like to see faults. Means we might break down. That's never a good thing. Still got a long way of the session to go as well.
we can keep it like this.
Okay, Joe.
Right, we have our feedback. And it looks like we went the wrong way, so we can fix that for practice 3. How are we doing with Fudo? %95%. Nice step forward. So we're getting close. Let's make that. Oh, actually, no. It's this. Okay. So if we go to an 8.2 and then push that up there and then correct that. That's too much. There we go. That should be it. Okay, we are 5% away, which means I think we're going to need to push that up to there. Correct like that. We'll try that. We may need to adjust the front wing and then push that all the way up. Right, let's have a look at doing that. Might have overdone it there. Let's go back. Now let's go with that. It's 89%, so a good, decent run, 25 to 30 laps in the next session. Should make sure that Fuji is through. We're done in this session again. Once again, that RB looking a bit punchy. Forgot to take a look at their car. Somebody please remind me at the beginning of tomorrow's stream, and we'll take a look at their car in race prep. So let's see. Let's go 25 laps. I think that should be enough. As long as we get the setup right, 25 laps should be enough. We'll go with another 20 laps for show. Might not need all of them. Let's send them out for final practice.
Okay, green light.
Evening, Wayne. That's an encouraging sign. There we go. That one's nailed. So he needs 6%. But that doesn't include the increase in that. So we probably only need 4 or 5%. And same over here as well. We're actually probably only need about 3 or 4% for Joe because of the improvements of the setup. So that is really, really good to see. So we'll probably be able to call Fuji in early. Maybe not so much for Joe. Might need to extend Joe slightly. Need to call him in and hope he doesn't retire on the track. That was just in practice a couple of days ago as well. But there we go. Setup is nailed. We'll send him out for a few last-minute laps just to get him up to 100 because he's so close. And there we go. We can call Fuji. Oh, he's already coming in. Yeah, we can call Fuji in. It'll add the setup value in, and that will push him up to 100. There we go. So he's prepped and done. Almost there with Joe. That last percent is going to take ages because he's reset his progress on track acclimatization. There we go. Now he's hit it. So we'll call him in. And that is practice finished. Once again, it is Cadillac at the top, but Stroll's up there in third. Where is Yuki? Yuki's ninth, but on hard tyres. Yeah, RB could be very, very quick today based on that. And it's time for us to start getting ready for quali. Evening, Silverstone Clark. Just going to keep changing the S to fit the need. Oh, look at that. We are just, because of Joe's falling out with Benisi, he's now just below getting into very high confidence. So he's right at the edge of that crossover point. It's a little frustrating. That'll resolve itself in a race or two's time, I hope.
Well, we're about to find out in qualifying.
The high-speed corners at Silverstone are a great challenge for the cars and drivers. The technical sector 1 rewards strong mechanical grip, while high-speed aerodynamic efficiency will come into play in the final two sectors.
We can see the Ferrari driver there, Karun. How do you think they're going to be feeling heading into qualifying?
It's interesting because they weren't that fast in practice. I'm not sure if this was a lack of pace or just the team trying different things, but I imagine we'll see their true performance soon enough.
Let the competition commence.
Okay, let's put the right parts in. New ERS in tonight. We'll keep pace with that gearbox for this Grand Prix. It's fine. Let's change to a brand new engine for this track because it is very much a power circuit. There we go. And let's hit the track. Stoffel coming out, as is Théo Pourchaire.
Copy.
Now we've got Pierre Gasly making his way out as well.
Position is okay at the moment.
Waiting for the first British driver. I want to do a lap on board with one of the British drivers. And there is George. Thank you, George. Not just his home circuit, but the team's home circuit. They are based at Silverstone. So about as much as a home event as you could possibly get. We'll just keep an eye on Fuji until George gets around to the end of the lap. Joe's going to get a nice clean run. I'm not sure where Fuji is going to catch that Red Bull of Nagel, but he will probably catch him somewhere. Hopefully on the hangar straight where he'll just pull over and let us through. I really hope it's not through Maggots and Beckett's. Alright, let's switch our attention back to George Russell. As he starts to put some heat into the tyres, a little bit of weaving. As he puts the hammer down. So this is Vale. And we exit Vale into what is now a right-hander, but used to be the club chicane, onto the Hamilton Straight. Flying through Abbey. And then Farm. We arrive at the village. Then through the loop, where the circuit splits for the national circuit. Accelerating up through Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. Where it's part of the national circuit now. Down into Brooklands. Then switch back into Luffield.
Now watch your delta. Try to push during the lap.
Flat out now as we accelerate through this right-hander of Woodcut. Past the old pit lane. into Cops. Into Maggots. And now Beckett's. And then exiting onto the hangar straight through Chapel. Fastest part of the track. We arrive at Stowe. So much speed carried into this corner. And then once again, pushing hard into Vale. And Club. And that is a lap of Silverstone, and George is only half a tenth slower than Joe. So it looks like Joe might have been held up on his lap. You can't remember all of the names of Silverstone to save your life. Well, there you go. I've just given them for you.
Joe Pele. Stop in front of your garage.
So not the best first lap for Joe. Fuji's lap time is pretty decent. We'll prep them for another run. You know nothing, Sam Snow. Let the track clear up a little bit and let's send them both back out now. Who's that sneaking out behind? Is that George again?
Watch behind.
No, it's not. It's Albon. Alex Albon taking to the track now. Has Norris set a time yet? No. Is he on a lap? He hasn't left the garage yet.
Try to keep position there.
Come on, Lando. There he is, making his way out.
That's okay. Point is clear. All push when you're ready.
Keep the Mercedes out. Let's see if Joe gets held up by the other Mercedes. Nope, good. Got an RB in front of us, warming up. Stays out of the way. Now we've got to get past that Haas again. Norris pulls over, very nice. This is dangerous. This is lap ruined.
Got blocked. Copy, Joe.
Damn it. Maybe we'll make up enough time in the first and third sectors. Up to the line then for Fuji. How much of an improvement does he get? A little over a tenth. What about Joe? That middle sector is definitely not helpful. And he doesn't improve in the final sector either, so no improvement at all for Zhou. And that is bad, because that means we're going to have to burn another set of tyres to get him through. Damn. Fuji is safe, but Zhou is going to need to run again. So where did Norris end up? Oh wow, Norris got held up. He's out in 19th at the moment. Albon slows to everybody, 5 seconds off the pace. He definitely got held up as well.
Position is okay. Tires.
Let's hope for a better lap here for Zhou Guanyu.
Track is clear. More push when you're ready.
9/10 of a second slower than Fuji at the moment, and he's the one with the new underfloor. As Lando makes his way out for a new lap. That's the shot I was looking for. I went all the way through the cameras except for the one, except going the right way. Should have gone left. Too late now. Right, which Williams is that coming up? It's Gasly. Hopefully he'll be out of the way nicely for us. Please don't let us get held up through Maggots and Beckett's again. Oh, shit. God damn it.
Copy, we notice.
Well, he was he was quicker than he was last lap, but it's still not ideal. Now we need a good final sector. We've got a yellow flag on the track. Not sure what that's for.
Yellow ahead.
Spin for Alex. We get up to 11th.
Things are okay at this stage. And the control's lost. And once it started, they were pretty powerless
Not
to do anything.
clever at all. Alex Albon spinning.
At the moment, P11.
At least I think he was on his in lap. No, that was his out lap. So that's going to hurt his confidence there. Spinning at Village.
Are we out or not?
We gained half a second. But we're still not necessarily safe, but it's too late to try again. Don't have the fuel or the battery to go again. All the time, for that matter. Norris is out. Wow. Lando is not able to progress. Albon improves but doesn't get through. Nagel is top of the elimination there. It's Nagel, Albon, Iwasa, Norris, Ocon and Perez who are eliminated. So 2 of the 3 Brits are gone in the first session. Cadillac first and second once again. Into the second session. So Joe out first this time because his tyres are slightly worse. Oh, then he gets held up by the Cadillacs, and I think Fuji got held up a little bit as well. 123.9, it's not a good lap
Keep an eye on
for either, really. But I mean, they were on scrubs, so it's not the end of the world. We absolutely screwed over both of the Cadillacs there, I think. Yes, we did. They are way off the pace, look. Here comes Porsche, finishing out his lap behind us. We won't be holding him up. If anything, we might be helping him a little bit through this last couple of corners. He goes to P8. He lost some time somewhere. So it's RB first and second right now. Stroll from Sonoda. We're third and fourth, but that's going to change. No improvement for Fuji in the first sector, but Zhou's found a bit of time. Now Max pops up into second. Fuji improves in the middle, Zhou doesn't. Don't think he would have been held up by Valtteri there. But it might have been. We'll check the second times in a moment. 37.8. Oh, no, he did. Yeah, 36.4. He did get held up by Valtteri. So, no improvement for Zhou. Fuji does find a little bit of time. He is now a couple of tenths closer. Just going to send him back out on those tyres, I think.
All good on tires.
Really don't know how safe we are with Fuji, which is why I've sent him back out again. Because Leclerc is way off the pace, Antonelli's off the pace, Porsche's off the pace, Piastri, Bottas, Van Dorn, all off the pace. Gasly hasn't set a time yet. So, who knows? Well, there's Van Dorn. Van Dorn's just slow. Did Ferrari win the Constructors at any point in this save? I think they won Season 2. There's Antonelli improving. Leclerc pops up into top spot. We're down to 7th with Zhou, but he is improving. He's on a personal best, as is Fuji. Sargent is done. Sainz is out. Gasly is out. So Gasly didn't come out at all. So Gasly must have a pit lane start. Fuji didn't get an improvement, I don't think. Maybe he did, I'm not sure. Zhou shoots up to 3rd. That's more like it, so he's definitely safe. But we had to burn an extra set of tyres to make sure he would definitely get through. Still waiting on Porsche and Piastri. Is he on an in-lap? He is, so Porsche's out. Stoffel is almost certainly out. George is out. Piastri's out. Wow. Championship leader. Piastri out in 13th place. What happened to Piastri? Lawson made the top 10. Not a good run for McLaren. Both cars out of the top 10 here. One out in Q1, one out in Q2. All right. All to play for.
Okay, green light.
Please don't hold me up. Let me have a
Okay,
clean
to
run,
push a bit
please.
more during the outer lap.
I hate that you can just lose so much time in one corner in qualifying in a completely ridiculous situation that wouldn't happen in real life anywhere near as frequently as it does in the game. I do feel that you get held up in qualifying more frequently in 24 than you did in the previous installment. So we've got half the grid out. Leclerc, Bottas and Tsunoda have joined us on track. We have no pending penalties. Out comes Sargent. Here comes Max and Tsunoda.
Point is clear.
No, sorry, Max and Piastri. Antonelli even. Piastri's not even in. And they are going to get in the way. And here comes Lawson as well. God damn it. God damn it. Just squeeze through. Looks like Joe might get away with it. As Max will pull over here on the Wellington straight. Fuji might get held up on the exit of Aintree here. Oh, gets through okay there. Antonelli will get out of the way. Max won't. We won't catch him in time. And now we're going to get held up here through Brooklands and Luffield. Oh, that was nice. That was very fortunate. So back to Joe. And we're going to get held up through Stowe here. Yes. Very badly. Look how big a lift that was. Ah, it's ruined Joe's lap. Fuji will be fine. So it's a 124.5 for Joe. 123.3 for Fuji, who was on worse tyres. Oh no, he's on brand new tyres. Joe was luckily on scrubs. So there's definitely room for improvement on a brand new set of tyres, even if it's just through the final sector. Stick with the same tyres for Fuji, they should be fine. But Joe's definitely going to need a new set. So he's only going to have one set of softs available if there are a dry period. There is a dry period in the Grand Prix. Fuji currently in second place. Wow. Didn't realise his time was that good.
Keep working on brakes and tires. Copy.
We have had a pole position this season, just the one, where we took advantage of the wet weather at Canada. Or was it a slipstream run? I forget if it was dry qualifying. But we got a slipstream, I think, at Canada. We got pole position at Canada with Fuji, I believe. But we fell down the order during the Grand Prix. We were never going to be able to maintain that pace. It'll be really tight across the line here for Zhou. Hope he can actually make it through. Should be fine. About to start putting the foot down. There he goes.
Tires on target.
Oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be really tight.
Track is clear. And more push when you're ready, more push.
He's going to miss it. Just. No. He got it. He just, literally just snuck in with like 1,000th of a second to spare, I think. Wow, we actually made it. No improvement for Fuji. To be honest, I'm not expecting him to improve on this lap, given how fast his first one was, but I'm expecting Zhou to move up the order a little bit. Could be able to get past Lawson and Verstappen, hopefully past Sargent and maybe even Valtteri as well. We're still quicker than Stroll. Stroll has not improved. In fact, Leclerc is on an in-lap, and he's going to hold up Fuji. No, well, Fuji wasn't improving anyway. All right, what can Zhou do? I think it's going to come down now to Zhou and Antonelli to see if anyone can maybe challenge Leclerc. Well, it's going to come down to Antonelli, I think. Antonelli goes top by 7,000ths of a second. Zhou improves past Valtteri. So he found a nice good chunk of time, just 3/10 away in the end. But hey, that's not bad. That's a little bit more pace than I thought we would get. We've sandwiched the two RBs, 3rd and 6th. It's Kimi starting on pole and taking full advantage of the fact that his teammate, championship leader, is currently down in 13th place. Charles Leclerc will start from 2nd place alongside Kimi. Udo and Lance Stroll will make it row 2. Row 3 will be Tsunoda and Zhou. Then it's Valtteri and Sargent on row 4. Max alongside Lawson for row 5. Then it's Russell from Sainz, Oscar from Porsche, Van Dorn from Gasly, who may be pit lane starting. So he may drop to the back of the grid. Then it's Nagel from Albon, Iwasa, Norris, all the way down. Lando Norris there. Ocon from Perez. So Norris may start from 20th. He may start from 19th. Let's get ready for the Grand Prix itself.
52 laps around Silverstone await our drivers as the anticipation continues to build.
Silverstone is certainly a circuit rich in Formula One history. From Giuseppe Farina winning the first championship race held here in 1950, right through to Lewis Hamilton's 2008 masterclass on racing in the rain.
Silverstone is a power circuit. It demands downforce and total confidence in the car for a driver to keep their foot planted through Sector 2, through the high-speed corners at Woodcote and at Copse, and carrying on through Maggots and Beckett's. The time has almost come for our drivers to fight it out wheel to wheel. Race day has arrived.
Yeah, somehow I don't think we can emulate Hamilton's 2008 performance, but if we could, that would be amazing. We're going to be starting on Inters then, track at 1.7 mil. Let's see. It's going to be Inters, then full wets by the look of it. Oh yeah, very much so. All right, we're definitely going to go aggressive, I think, with the opening Inters. And then we'll play it by ear with the rest of the tyres. We're not going to make any changes to the strategy. I'm going to put one extra lap of fuel in so we can just go hard with the tyres and the pace in the braking zone. We should recoup fuel more easily if we're going to be on wet tyres, because the car will be just slower in general. Let's send them to the grid for the start of the British Grand Prix.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. The Ferrari driver settles in ahead of this Grand Prix.
They're up in P3, which is a terrific grid position for them. What can they manage here, I wonder?
But there's no more time left. We've got a race on our hands. Anticipation is high, and the drivers are ready for this. The British Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oh, it's not the best of starts. Well, at least not for Fuji. Joe had an okay start. And we're going to get back up the inside. And we'll complete that move through Aintree. Can we hold it, though? That's the question. Joe in 7th. Has lost a place to Valtteri. Gasly is at the back of the pack, so he did start from the pit lane. There he is, and he's not catching as quickly as he would have liked. Still a fair way off. Let's take a quick look at track details. Still showing damp in 11 minutes. Joe having to fight off Max Verstappen. Fuji falling away from Leclerc and Antonelli as expected. Those two are pushing hard, but we are keeping the RBs behind for now. Max still behind Joe at the moment. Let's ease those tyres down.
Try to pull down a bit more on your tires.
Copy.
Keeping an eye on Max. He's going to have a look at us again in a minute. And you can see how the battle assist has worked here. Fuji's battery and Joe's battery at very different levels, because Fuji's had to use more of his. He hasn't had that slipstream in front to help pull him forward like Joe has, which is why his battery is now 10% lower. Staying in neutral
Copy.
and using battle assist does mean that you will end up potentially using too much battery, so that's why it's usually best to put top up on if you're using battle assist.
Can happen.
We have the slipstream of Valtteri there. That's going to keep us ahead, I think, hopefully, of Max. Nope, Max just goes around the
No
outside.
problem, no problem.
And we have a yellow flag. Oscar running very wide through
Now we see
Stowe.
this was at turn 15. And nearly, just running wide. That won't do the floor
that
of the
lost him
car
3
any
places.
good at all.
4 places, I think. He got jumped by Albon. He did. Sonoda goes past Fuji,
Keep
and we push him
focus on
off the
your
track.
race.
He still stays in there, though.
Behind.
We have another yellow flag. Someone had a spin. It wasn't us.
Yellow ahead.
Nagel.
It's
Now
the Red
Nagel
Bull
drops
track.
to the back of the grid.
And then the car just goes. In the end, just
Yeah,
a helpless
dropped it at
passenger.
Village.
And look at the team there. They all knew what that moment meant.
All right, so we're looking at full wets in about 12 minutes. But what we want to do, and this is why I haven't gone full blast with the tyres, is we want to pay attention to how long it's going to stay full wets. Whether it's just going to be a little flash in the pan. Looks like it will be pretty heavy,
I'll give you everything, man.
as we are stuck behind George Russell at the moment. This is a little bit of extra tyre. Everyone's queuing up, look, trying to get through. Ah, come on. Come on. No. Damn it. We got pushed wide, and that's cost us 2 places.
Try to recover your previous rhythm that was looking fine.
And we haven't been able to get back on terms with Sonoda.
Yeah, I'll give you everything, man.
Can we dive up the inside?
Keep focus
Yes,
on
we
our
can.
race.
So we're back up past Sainz. Down in 11th place, which is not great. Now we've got a slipstream. Oh, no.
You're doing a good job.
Lawson pulls back in. With a chance to go around the outside of him there. He shut that door. And we're kind of stuck in the middle of a train, which is the worst place to be. Yellow flag behind us. Somewhere.
Here we are then at turn 15.
Yeah, right behind us. Sainz just running a
That's-
little bit wide.
No, that's not quite what they would have
Loses
wanted.
out to
Perhaps a little
Lando
lapse in
Norris.
Concentration, maybe.
No, that's Porsche, I think. Yeah, Porsche. Right, this is our last opportunity to get through on Lawson. He's got a slipstream. And you'll see him edge back. He's still there on the inside of us, and now we shut the door, kind of.
So you later.
He's still going to have a look at the inside again.
Hit end at the moment.
There we go. Finally get the move done, and we can go back into top up. Turn the battle assist back on.
Copy.
Overtake available.
Rain going 9 minutes now till it hits full wets.
More charge.
Copy.
How's everyone else's tyres doing? Oh, we've actually got a bit of a grip advantage. Everyone's pushing their tyres harder than we are at the moment then. What's the gap between my two drivers? About 5 seconds. So, assuming we don't get caught in chaos in the pit lane, that's enough time to double stack without a hold up, as long as there's no delay on the stop itself. We are back on Yuki Tsunoda again. Just don't have enough pace to get past him, it seems. As long as we can keep Stroll behind, that's the most important thing. I don't want to lose position to him as well. Antonelli hasn't quite been able to drop Leclerc. There's absolutely no way we're going to be able to challenge for the fastest lap here. And you can see the track is getting wetter. There may be a moment at the end of the Grand Prix, if we're feeling brave enough, but probably not going to happen. About 1.9 kilos, give or take, for a lap of fuel here, so we've burnt a little bit off. We don't have to worry about engine temps really in these conditions, so we can just keep pushing the braking and hope that our drivers can do what needs to be done. Yeah, definitely getting held up behind George, I think, here. Hibden Comet. Yeah, Fuji put in a blinder of a lap in quali.
My best.
Do your best, man. Overtake
Try and punch our
available.
way through if we can.
Yeah, copy.
Try to cool the engine.
Copy.
Running out of opportunities here.
More the charge. More charge.
Copy.
We're going to need to refill the battery, I think, if we're going to have any chance of getting through. Who is going to be the first to blink when it comes to changing tyres? We'll start to harvest some battery with Fuji as well.
Copy.
Being able to push if some cars box a little bit too early, or being able to push if they box a bit too late, could be critical here, which is why I've put them into harvest mode. Does mean we're going to lose ground to Sonoda. So we're not really close enough to benefit from a slipstream from him. Hopefully Joe can stay close enough to not compromise his race and stay in harvest.
I feel okay.
Such a difficult track to recharge your battery on, because there's so many corners where you don't really gain anything at all. Most of your battery is saved or earned here, and more importantly here as well at Vale. And then it's immediately followed by a big deployment through club. So it's really hard to balance charging the battery without leaving yourself overly vulnerable to immediately being overtaken by the car behind you. This is another big deployment zone here as well, through here as we accelerate out through Aintree onto the Wellington Straight. You can save a nice little bit of battery in harvest mode there by not deploying anywhere near as much as you would, but it leaves you vulnerable to being overtaken, especially if DRS is active. This is another area as well, exiting Lovefields and through Woodcote onto the old pit straight, where you can again lose ground quite quickly and leave yourself very vulnerable to being set up for a run down the Hanger Straight. We're 6 minutes away. From the big water. And Valtteri has boxed. Valtteri's gone early. He's gone way too early if he's gone for a set of wets now. Cadillac are coming out for Oscar. Wow. That I did not expect to see. Full wets on for both Bottas and Piastri, and it's way too early.
More charge, more charge.
Copy.
Oh, excuse me, Stroll has caught me. It's about as much battery as I can risk saving, I think, with Fuji.
More charge, more charge.
We're looking at least one more lap before we box. Valtteri is not gaining ground on Gasly. He's actually been caught slightly by Nagel. Track isn't wet enough yet. Oh, there we go. A whole flurry of activity in the pits. Russell, Sargent, Lawson, Pourchaire, Albon, Sainz, Verstappen, all boxing. We are boxing at the end of this lap. And this is what I wanted the battery for.
You can box this lap.
Copy box.
Well, Mercedes got the double stop just about right, but Sainz had to wait for a couple of cars to go through before he could exit the pit box. So he still lost a little bit of time. At least he wasn't held up. Valtteri here behind Gasly. Gasly's tyres are now at the point where they're going to start to struggle a little bit. They're still okay. It's still into territory, but only just. It's now much better for the wets. It's in that borderline crossover phase. We are almost at the end of the lap, so we've been able to push in better conditions here. There we go. And now it's too late for the RBs. Antonelli and Leclerc are both in. And they will hold position. We don't have anybody in front of us to slow us down. And we should be able to get out before anybody else comes through as well, because we're at the end of the pit lane, so hopefully we'll be fine. It's a 2-second stop for Fuji. He's off and away. 1.9 second stop.
More race, more race.
Only 12th fastest for Fuji. Doesn't want to tell us for Zhou. Bottas has split us.
The use overtake.
Copy.
So maybe it wasn't horrendous for Valtteri after all. It certainly wasn't the best time for Piastri. I mean, he's 13th, but I mean, he's now stuck behind Albon and Pourchaire.
In front of you, there is Valtteri.
Everybody has stopped now, apart from the RBs.
Russell behind.
If they both stop here, this is going to be a disaster for Stroll. There's Antonelli at the far end of the hangar straight. And they are both coming in. Stroll is going to have to sit and wait. But RB have got a very good pit crew. It's not the best on the grid, but it's decent enough. They're going to need an excellent stop here to minimise any time loss. Have we been able? Yes, Fuji has jumped ahead of Stroll. So has Valtteri. Where is Zhou? Oh wow, so Zhou has not been able to get these tyres up to temp as quick as I was hoping. So we're 3rd and 7th. Sorry, 4th and 7th. We started 3rd and 6th. We were running 4th and 7th for a while. We've kind of held position. It has actually worked out quite nicely for Valtteri there. Alright, so it's going to go damp again, but the question is for how long? Tyres are up to temp. We are going to see is it going to be possible to maybe go all the way through? It's quicker to not stop again. Or is it slightly quicker to stop again? We'll play it by ear
You can slow down a bit.
on that one.
Copy.
All depends how dry it's going to get when it does dip back down to inters before going back up to full wets again. If it doesn't burn up the tyres for us too much, might be better for us to just stay out. Strategies don't always take stop time into account. No, they don't. Not always. Sometimes they do. But as a general rule, I always look at it as they don't necessarily count stop times in. But you have to factor in not just, the stop time, but the amount of grip you'll have, which means you'll be able to cut through traffic quicker. Staying out might be quicker on paper, but if you don't have the grip and the pace to break through the traffic in front of you, then you'll end up getting stuck, and then you'll overheat your tyres, and you'll be losing pace, and it'll make the theoretical faster stop slower, and vice versa. If it's a circuit where overtaking is hard, you can slap that fresh set of tyres on, but if you can't get the move done, all that extra time that you should be getting, you're losing because you're stuck cutting your way through the traffic and not pushing at the pace you should be. So, it's always a decision you have to think carefully about. As we do have another spin. Is that Nagel again?
Yellow.
Copy.
It is.
Right then, you can take a look now. Now here we are at the final corner. Oh no, that's
Spins
not
there.
how to do it. The conditions clearly causing
On the exit of
problems for
Vale.
the drivers. And clearly then, not what everyone in the garage would have wanted to see.
Well, we are not catching Sonoda, but that's probably because we're not pushing the tyres. You can see some tyres have already burnt out quite a bit, look. The drivers who boxed early, their tyres are definitely in the 80s, like Valtteri and Porsche and Iwasa to a degree, but Piastri as well, despite Piastri having really good tyre wear. It's he's stuck still behind Albon. He's got past Teo, but he's still stuck behind Alex Albon here. We have another yellow flag. Someone running wide, I think. Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda.
As we look to stow. Oh no! Wide they go! But all being
that
well
will
and
give
fingers
an opportunity,
crossed, no lasting damage to the car.
potentially, to Fuji. Back within half a second again. Front two are gone. It's a two-horse race between Antonelli and Leclerc. Question is, where will Piastri finish? He'll get in the points, it's just how high up the points he'll get. He won't make the podium. Well, he might, actually. He might make the podium. He might just take third place, but that's as high as he can possibly go without something happening to the front two. We are going to have to push the tyre pace a little bit because the tyres are dropping out of the window as the water level increases. So, given that, we might not be able to make these tyres go the distance if we have to push them just to keep them in the temperature window.
Tires are getting there.
Yeah, copy.
It's going to go damp again very soon. That's going to be the critical point of this Grand Prix. How dry does it get during that period? How much below 4 mil will it drop? We're going to be on full fuel push for the rest of this race. And we still might finish with positive fuel as well. We have burnt up half a kilo. But now we're into, heavy rain. That fuel burn is going to be less than it was. Track's still getting wetter at the moment, but we aren't far away from that dip. It's coming. Next few minutes.
Okay,
Drop the tyre temps down again in preparation for that dip. Cooler the tyres are, the more wiggle room we have when they start to overheat. Without something funny going on with pit strategy, I don't think we're going to have the pace to catch Yuki. Alright, Oscar has got clear of Albon, and he's 2 seconds ahead of him already. He's pushing onto the back of Lawson. Let's see what he does at the end of this lap. A 142.7, yeah, he's pushing. 4/10 quicker than Antonelli was that lap. He is going to be a threat for third place, which would be a hell of a drive. Let's not forget, not only did he qualify down in 13th, he also ran wide and lost 4 places early on as well. Got down to 16th, 17th place. We have a spin, potentially.
Yellow.
Copy.
Or is that a collision? Van
There's a
Dorn.
yellow flag now.
Yeah, it's a spin for Van
It's
Dorn.
obviously quite wet out there.
Drops it on the exit of Aintree.
Not surprising, I suppose, given these conditions.
That will damage those tyres. Probably push the temperature of them right up as well, at a point when, as I say, the track is going to start drying up pretty soon. Or it's supposed to be drying up, it's still getting wet. If the track suddenly starts to dry up and those tyres are already, baking a little bit, they'll fall apart. If you're going to spin, now's the time to do it when the track is getting to its wettest point. There we go. Now the track's going to start to dry, and it's going to start drying quite quickly. As the rain intensity eases. Tyres are now dropping out of the window at just the right time for us. Battery starting to come under a bit of pressure from Stroll. Antonelli has got a little bit of fresh air now between him and Leclerc. 2.5. Tsunoda 12.5 seconds further back. And we're down to 5 mil. It's not going to stay damp for too long. Looking at that. This is where we could potentially save quite a bit of tyre life against the competition. And given that it does look like it is going to dip towards Inter territory for the last 6 or 7 laps, I am tempted to see if I can take these tyres through to that point and then go for a set of inters at the end and try and just blitz the field. Rather than trying to take a second set of wets through to the end of the race. That's a fault for Iwasa.
Well, yeah, right. It certainly looks like they've developed a fault.
Max got a weird number. Is he running 33? It looked like he was running a different number. No, he's running 33. Valtteri's pushing onto the back of us. Taking a calculated risk here, dropping the tyre pace down. We are about to hit inters. These tyres will still work reasonably well up to about 3.5 mil. Then they'll start to lose pace, a bit more significantly. If it gets down to about 2.5 mil, the tyres will be so slow and they will be melting. So now it's how damp is it going to get? We've got potentially 10 minutes in these conditions now. And I am prepared to drop my tyres down even further.
Try to slow down a
Just to
bit.
keep them cool. Stop them overheating. So let's take a look at the temperature of Valtteri's tyres. They're at 62 degrees at the moment. But we're now in suboptimal conditions. And he's in the dirty air, so I'm expecting those tyres to be a little bit warmer as we cross the line. 86. Yeah, those tyres are going to really start screaming at him on this lap. See if we can watch them melt in real time. Keeping the gap to Russell about constant there. I will keep checking on that. So my tyres were what, 84% I think across the line. Valtteri's was 72. Mine is still the same. Well, there we go. We've lost 8%. He's lost 5% already. And the track is still getting drier, and our tyre temps are starting to creep back up towards optimal temperature now. Now, Valtteri has lost 7% of his tyre life compared to us losing 1%. And there we go, we've actually hit the window for the tyres. This should go white in a second. There we go. Fuji, Hangzhou, both in the window temperature-wise now. Track is still drying up. Valtteri's tyres are on fire. How hot are they? 101 as they cross the line. They're going to be even hotter. They're going to be pushing up towards 120 at the end of this lap. If not even higher than that. He cannot find a way through. Those tyres are melting. We have a fault for Perez as well.
The vibrations are a bit extreme.
And Valtteri's lost nearly 10% on this lap. 10%. We lost 2%. And his tyres, oh, they're only 105. Wow, I thought they would be hotter than that. But they're still way above the operating window. Ours are now up to 75 degrees. They're going to start getting a bit hot and complainy in a minute or so. And we're actually matching pace just about with Yuki Tsunoda at the moment. There we go. Now our tyres are starting to grumble at 79 degrees. So you can imagine how much Valtteri's are complaining. They're at 51%. He's going to have to box very soon at this rate.
Oh, job coming.
And Stroll's in the same boat because his tyres are way too hot and he's in dirty air. His tyres at 53%. And we are now officially red on our tyres with Zhou. and now Fuji. I'm actually going to turn the braking
Don't
back to
forget
normal,
the
see if that
lift
helps a
off.
little bit.
Copy.
Not push the tyres quite so hard. Sonoda's tyres are starting to struggle. Valtteri's tyres are on fire. As Nagel gets a fault. So Yuki's tyres are at 93. Stroll's are at 106. Valtteri's at 107. And here comes the water again. Little bit by little bit. We actually took 0.3 of a second out of Yuki on that lap. And it's kind of worse for Valtteri and Stroll because they're getting the slipstream, so it's keeping them in that hot, dirty air. They can't break free because they haven't got the grip to get past me. But they're not going slow enough to not, because I'm going slow, they're not being able to drop back into cooler air. So it's just compounding it. Every time they get within a second of me, they just start to close back up again, and it just pushes those tyre temps further and further into the red. 34%. Valtteri might even puncture on this lap if he's not careful. Iwasa's got a fault.
But there.
He's into the pits.
That's
We're
what
seeing
they need
people
right
dive
now.
into the pits already. Albon, Iwasa and Sainz all coming in. Good stop for Iwasa. He's going to jump the queue. And Albon, who was at the head of that queue, has dropped to the back. $107 on those tyres for Valtteri. Water level is coming back up. That's the only thing stopping his tyres from exploding right now, I think. But even so, he is now officially in puncture territory. So is Porsche. So is Verstappen. Are we going to see a blowout on this lap? Valtteri dives into the pits. Stroll has stayed out. He should have just boxed at this point.
No lift off.
Copy.
There we go. Back to full wet conditions.
Overtake available.
Copy.
And we weathered the storm, pardoning the pun there, very nicely indeed. Tyre temps now back, easily under control, even at this pace. And we are going to stay out and try and hold on for some inters later on. Max is in. Gets out just in front of Van Dorn and Iwasa. Piastri in 9th. He has stayed out. What's his tyres looking at? His tyres are in really rough shape as well. Sargent, Piastri, Lawson, Norris. Even, Ocon and Gasly are all potentially going to have to stop again, as is Perez and Van Dorn. Stroll is definitely going to need to stop again.
And Stroll is staying out. He's going to take those tyres to the canvas by the look of it. That works for me. Have at it, son. In comes Sargent and Lawson and Lando Norris. P8 now for Oscar Piastri. Good stop for Sargent. Oh, bad stop for Lawson. And Norris is going to jump him.
And what's that? A pit stop issue.
We are closing the gap to Tsunoda, but last lap we were using battery. This lap we're not, so let's keep an eye on the gap. We've definitely got healthier tyres now than everyone else who hasn't stopped. Who else is going to try and stick it out? Have we got any indication yet? No, we haven't. Will Stroll box this lap? He's at 31%. He should do. And he does. So, where will this drop him? Oscar's in. And that, I think, has just put paid to Oscar's chances of a podium. Solid stop for both teams. Let's have a look at the timing. So we're up there with Zhou. Just the one car in there today. Piastri is going to feed out behind Sargent. Oh no, just in front of Sargent, but Sargent might jump him here. Those tyres will not be up to temperature yet. I think he's got enough to be able to push and stay ahead. Oh wow, Iwasa's fault escalates.
But the car's definitely not happy. Surely some kind of...
Didn't he have a fault earlier on anyway? So is that a second fault that has now escalated the original one? Let's have a look. Yeah, he did. So his gearbox will have just gone orange. His engine's yellow. That's not good. It's his race pretty much done and dusted. Let's cut back to Fuji. Are we closing in on Tsunoda? No, we're not. We did on the last lap. But the gap has gone up to 4 seconds. So we've lost some time somewhere. Oh, our tyres have dipped out the window, that's why. Still very much a two-horse race, although Antonelli's now got a 4-second gap to Leclerc. Looks like he's going to go for a back-to-back wins here, taking the checkered flag first in Austria. Well, did Piastri? No, I think Piastri jumped him at the end, didn't he? I forget. My memory is so bad. It's weird. Some things, they're lasered into my brain. I'll never ever forget. Other things, they're in and out just like that.
So we have definitely got a little bit more pace this lap. Taking a couple of tenths out of Yuki. Battle assist is off. We've got a nice 10-second cushion to George. And there we go, 6/10 out of Tsunoda on that lap. Matching Leclerc in terms of lap pace. Gasly's in. That'll free up Piastri. Dropping back into the points. Oh, bad stop for Gasly. Not been an ideal homecoming for Williams here. Max down in 14th. Gasly with a bad stop there. It's going to drop him down behind Albon. Let's have a look at Oscar. He's coming up to lap Van Dorn, I think. No, that's Ocon he's chasing. Van Dorn's about half a lap behind him. No one has been lapped yet. Drop the tyres back down again now that they are
Try to slow down a bit more now.
Copy.
safely in that window of temperature. Trying to stretch these tyres so we don't want them to overheat or burn up too quickly. Want to keep them fresh for as long as we can. Still looking at switching to inters with about 7 laps to go. And we can absolutely hammer those inters. And I'm really hoping that everyone who has made that second stop for a second set of wets is going to stay on those wets, which means they will be slow and we will breeze past any of them that get in the way. Question is, what are the others going to do? I would imagine they will probably box for inters. A decision that might be taken out of their hands, especially looking at Esteban Ocon and George Russell. Their tyres in the low 40% here. Oh, Yuki's in. Wow, Yuki's in a lot earlier than I was expecting. Is this going to be another set of wets for Yuki Tsunoda? If it is, that means he's going to probably try and take them to the end. It's way too early for inters if he's thinking inters. George is in as well. It is another set of wets for Tsunoda. There he goes. That puts us, temporarily at least, on the podium. In comes George. Tsunoda's going to get out in 5th place. He's only dropped 2 places to us. He's going to get out comfortably ahead of Valtteri. George is going to come out possibly behind Pourchaire here. Yes, behind Pourchaire. There goes Teo. Nagel's fault escalates.
But it looks
I don't know why I even looked on that one. It's never going to tell us what it is. We'll have to do it this way. Engine. So fresh engines for Iwasa. Sorry, fresh gearbox for Iwasa. Fresh engine for Nagel in the next Grand Prix. Let's see how quickly Tsunoda tries to close this down. He's 11 seconds behind us. 14 seconds behind Fuji to get back on the podium. It's quite a slow pit stop here. I think around 24, 25 seconds. Maybe even a bit more than that. He's in acres of space as well. He's got no real threat from behind. As our tyres are dropped out of the window again.
Focus on tires.
As the track's got wetter. Have to push our pace a touch more. And there we go. 11 minutes and it'll be damp again. So I can probably leave my tyres like this now. We still have a lot of spare fuel, as you can see. Perez's fault escalates.
I'm having quite an aggressive downshifts, and it's I feel like it's not in the rear end.
So now, how dry is it going to get? If it gets too dry, the wets are going to melt. We saw how quickly they can melt, especially in dirty air. But it can also dramatically drop the pace if it gets too dry, as well as pushing the temperatures through the roof. And on the inters, we can end up being multiple seconds a lap quicker. Yuki's not closing in at a rapid rate. Our tyres were out of the window last lap, so I'm going to pay attention to the gap at the end of this lap and the end of the next lap. We're still matching Leclerc pace-wise. We're not really closing him down, but we're not dropping any time. Yuki was a second quicker, but as I say, this is going to be the important lap to see what kind of pace Yuki has got. Now his tyres are definitely up to temperature, and now ours are back up to temp. Oscar in 8th place right now, still in the 144s, but he has just got free of Esteban Ocon, who's struggling now. 146, his tyres starting to fall apart. If he's going to try and hang it out until the inters, he's going to be risking a puncture.
Right, dropping a bit.
9 minutes till it goes damp. Yuki's gained about half a second on us this lap so far. I don't know if he's using battery or not. We aren't. We're keeping our battery. We'll let it trickle up, but we want it recharging so that when we box for those inters, we can absolutely fly. There's Stroll in the background. He's caught up quite nicely. All over the back of Valtteri. Now he's kind of hit a bit of a wall. So we did 143.7 and 143.9 for Joe. About the same as we did last lap, actually. Yuki does another 142.9. So, yeah, he's about a second a lap quicker than us at the moment. As Ocon is in. Now, what tyres is Ocon going on to? Is he going for the inters? It's early. It's very early. Too early for the inters. But if he goes wets, it's the wrong tyre in about 5 to 10 laps time. He is going full wets. Interesting. We're 7 minutes away. And he's come out in 19th place behind a big queue of traffic. Everyone's stuck behind Perez and Iwasa, both of whom are lapping slow with faults. So Ocon's race is ruined. Leclerc's in. Oh, Charles Leclerc has boxed. And he's gone full wets. Our tyres are about the same as Kimi's. They're a little bit better. Where's Leclerc going to feed out? I think he's going to get out between our two cars here. Looks like the pit lane time loss is actually a little bit less in these conditions because the lap is slower. The lap's about 10 seconds slower than it would be in the dry. So maybe not a full 10 seconds. So we're probably looking at, as our tyres now do start to get a little toasty, probably looking at about a 20 to 24 second pit lane as opposed to the normal 24 to 28. I do still have enough of a gap between my two to box them without fear of holding each other up, assuming that they're clean stops as well. Dry conditions are coming. I think Antonelli's doing what we're doing and hanging out for the Inters. But Leclerc is now kind of going to have to keep himself out on those tyres if he wants to maximise his chance. He's given up any chance he had of winning this race if he also then boxes for Inters. So he's probably going to have to stick it out on the wets to the end and just hope. Start to fill the battery up.
Okay, all charge, all charge.
Copy.
Yellow flag. Iwasa and Sainz had it coming together by the look of it.
Now I think this, yes, it's Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, lock up for Sainz, just punched Iwasa into the gravel, breaks his rear wing as well. That's a broken front wing for Sainz. That'll be a penalty for Sainz.
Just like that, the hopes of the team start.
So, if they box for new tyres as a result of that, or a new front wing in Sainz's case, let's see if he puts Inters on.
Try to push a bit more.
There's the penalty for Sainz. I do wish they'd wait and say, before popping the penalty and then getting the message from the engineer that a penalty's been given before the FIA actually make the official judgment. It's a silly little thing, but So Piastri in 8th place is 11 seconds off the back of Stroll, who still hasn't got past Valtteri. That's the state of everyone's tyres at the moment. That dry weather is coming. It's now 6 minutes away. Or a driver complains about pushing wide, being pushed wide when they're the one who actually pushes someone wide. Perez is down to just 32% on his tyres. Which way is he going to go? He's going to have to think about Inter, surely. As he starts his 39th lap. And we are getting close to somebody being lapped, and it will be Iwasa first. Given that he's got a hole in his rear wing now. Track has stopped drying up. Sainz has locked up.
Here's the replay. Now we're approaching turn 2. The wheels just lock up there, and they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
Carrying too much speed. Had to lock up to avoid punting into the back of Pierre Gasly there. Remember when Sainz got a 5-second penalty in Melbourne from the restart where he complained? Yes, vaguely. And there we go, the track is starting to dry again. It's checker boxing. No, he's going to stick it out. And he's ruining the pace of everybody behind him with so much more grip. We have a yellow flag. Van Dorn. As Norris forces his way around the outside there through
the
Abbey.
looks of things, we're at turn 15 now. And the car fails to respond. Just unable to control.
Here we go. We are getting close. 4.2. It's still a little early. Inters would not handle the 4.2 very well. They would handle it worse than Wets would handle 3.8. Now Checo's holding his teammate up. Lawson's going to try and go up the inside through Copse. Gets it done. We might be boxing at the end of this lap. I think we are going to box at the end of this lap. Paris is still out there. His tyres now in puncture territory. Can he hang on for one more lap? Will Antonelli box this lap? Will he go a little bit longer?
All trying to take turn 16. The brakes couldn't cope.
Albon just about avoids hitting the back of the Alpine there. Nearly ruined Ocon's race. Even more. There we go. Inters are now viable. They're still not the prime tyre just yet, but it's getting into that window. Fuji has boxed. Antonelli has stayed out. Leclerc has got the gap down to Antonelli, down to 19 seconds. That's not going to be enough. If Antonelli boxes for Inters at the end of this lap coming, which I think he will, Leclerc will not have a big enough gap. Now, how far behind are we going to fall? We're going to lose out to Tsunoda, who's gone through, and Stroll and Valtteri. 2 seconds on the nose for Fuji, a 1.181, sorry, for Zhou there. Can we get Zhou out in front of Oscar? It's going to be very close. I think we're just going to come out behind him. Oh, just behind him. Actually, I'm going to save the battery. It's too early to spend the battery. At 3.9, it's not quite perfect conditions for the Inters. It's pretty strong, but the wets will hang on quite nicely at this water level.
Sargent behind.
That's edging back up. No, don't edge back up.
11 laps to go. Tires are okay.
Copy.
Antonelli's gone again.
Tires okay.
Copy.
Try to cool down as much as possible.
Copy.
Yeah, I don't want to cook them just yet. It is definitely going to get very much drier. I do really need to get in front of Piastri.
Sargent behind. Okay, do your best there.
Oh, am I still in always defend? I am. Let's turn that off. Come on. Dry up. I could have stayed out another lap or two. Pushed the tyres really hard for another lap or two and got clear of Piastri. Maybe.
Behind Sargent.
It's still creeping up. It just went up to 3.96. Come on, radar, don't lie to me, please. Please don't lie to me. Leclerc took a big chunk of time out of Antonelli there, 0.8 of a second, but that's not enough either. But the longer it stays like this, the better for Leclerc if Antonelli does eventually box. What's his tyres at? 36%.
Do your best.
If it suddenly starts drying up, there's no way Antonelli's going to be able to make it. His tyres will melt too much. It's going to be a tense few final laps. Again, it goes up to 3.98. Where is this dip? Come on. Sound like a crypto bro waiting for the dip. Antonelli's in. Iwasa gets another fault
As far as
escalation.
we can tell, they've got...
Is that his other part going orange? I think it is. Nothing terminal showing. 3.99. There's a set of inters. Lawson's boxing for inters. All right, here we go. This is game on. This is game on. Antonelli has made the switch to inters at this point. Then weather should be about to change in our favour. There we go. It went down. It's going down. Leclerc goes through and he's only just ahead. This is Antonelli's race to lose now.
Keep focus on our race. No management anymore.
Sergeant boxes. Who's going to hang it out to the end? Who's going to box? Ten seconds to Stroll and Valtteri. We should start to reel them in. Oscar is pushing like crazy, trying to get through. Is he thinking of boxing or is he just pushing? Try and overtake us. We took half a second out of Valtteri through Maggots and Beckett's. Let's try and drop Oscar. Antonelli is 2 seconds behind Leclerc and the track is very much now in favour of Inters. Piastri's still pushing for all he's worth though. Still got a fair amount of grip left in those wets. We're 9 seconds behind Stroll and Valtteri. It's the corners where we're going to make up the most time now. They're going to have to carry so much more speed through the corners.
Okay, mode charge. Mode charge.
Copy.
I should have gone into the driving clean air.
Try to stay off slipstream a bit more.
Copy.
Get the slipstream through the opening couple of corners. 6.5 seconds, less than 6.5 seconds. Bottas and Stroll.
Okay. Copy.
There we go, get the slipstream, driving clean air.
Try to cool the engine.
Copy.
He still manages to block us. Oscar is such a strong defensive driver.
No problem, no problem.
Get back in the slipstream.
In case you are able to go out slipstream, will be better from us. Copy.
This time. Come on. No. Damn it.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give it up. We got him this time. This time we should go flying around the outside of him. There we go.
Copy.
Valtteri's in.
Yes.
Valtteri has said enough is enough, and he boxes. It's 2.76. The wets are going to fall apart now. Antonelli is going to absolutely rocket onto the back of Leclerc now. Max is in as well. Carries so much more speed through the corners. He gets blocked. He gets alongside into Maggots. Stays alongside through Beckett's. And he can put the power down more effectively on the exit there through Church. And he's just going to drop Leclerc here now.
Try to pull down a bit more on your tires.
Yeah.
New fastest lap of the Grand Prix for Kimi Antonelli. There's no way I'm going to be able to take that from him. He did a 137.2. We have a yellow flag. Don't see an obvious culprit for that.
2 secs. There's
Oh, it's
been a
crash. That's Stoffel and I think Lawson. Oh, just clipped the rear of his car. Nearly spun himself out there. No, it's Perez. Oh, wow, look at that. We just took the fastest lap without even trying. And look how quickly we have caught Stroll. We took 4.2 seconds out of him, nearly 4.3 seconds out of him on that lap. And he's through, and he is away, and Joe should be on him pretty quickly as well. Pulled out 2 seconds over Oscar. Podium is on. Podium is very much on here for Fuji. And 4th place is also on for Joe here. 5th place is more likely, but we've got another 3 laps to go, and if we're lapping 4 seconds a lap quicker, about 3 seconds on that last lap over Tsunoda. That's 9 seconds to gap. We're only 7.5 seconds behind, and if the track stays like this, well, yeah, it's game over. Look how much speed we're pulling on Stroll here. Like he wasn't even there.
I'll try my best.
At the moment, they are going well.
Back to Fuji. There is Yuki. Joe's only 3 seconds behind as well. That's a lap behind, basically. Joe's in peak confidence as well, which is going to help. I'm absolutely destroying these tyres to catch up. But even so, it's still enough. We are on the back of Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki's got us covered off at the moment. We'll get him on the exit of entry. Or will we? No, he's just blocking our move there. We're going to see Joe. Oh, Stroll's punctured. Bang! There goes the tyre. Look how far ahead we are. And that's going to put Piastri into 5th place. Again, Yuki sitting just off the racing line like that to block us, to cover us off and stop us from going up the inside of him. Can we get around the outside here, which becomes the inside? No, we can't. Oh, damn, Yuki is defending like a lion here. Now we've got him. Now we've got him. We got him. Here comes Joe. He's next. Bottas moves up into 7th place, and he's right behind Piastri. Because Piastri's still on those wets. Bottas takes 6th place away.
Overtake available. Joe, I know it's not easy, but we need more fresh air there.
And there we go. We've got 4th place away from Yuki Tsunoda.
Good job.
Now we just need to hold it. Yuki's going to be using all his battery.
No overtake now. Try to stay ahead.
It's a win for Kimi Antonelli. A comfortable win in the end. Charles Leclerc will hang on for 2nd place.
Just the perfect end to what has been a thrilling race.
And that's going to tighten up the championship again. We've done enough. Too much corner speed. Leclerc gets 2nd. It's a puncture for Ocon at the end as well. And he's right near the start of a lap as well. He punctures just before entry. He's going to crawl for the rest of the lap. It is a podium for Fuji. Joe will take 4th ahead of Yuki Tsunoda Valtteri is going to take 6th place. We have another yellow flag. Is that another puncture? It is. Porsche is punctured. Can he hang on? Can George get the position here? He can. Look at his tyres. How is Gasly still going?
Okay, Joe, you can go up to board end.
Porsche is going to limp across the line. It's going to finish in 11th.
Good job there. Ox, board end.
Gasly's tyres are down to the canvas. This could be the lowest percentage I've ever seen a tyre cross the line if it gets through without puncturing here. %. I don't think I've ever seen a tyre at 4% across the line before. I've seen them at like 8%, but wow. They might puncture on the in-lap. That would be something. Antonelli's already into the pits. He's job done there. 1% for Gasly. Will it pop before the end of the no? He just managed to survive before the end there.
That was a great performance from the Ferrari driver, wasn't it?
This podium is something the whole team can be proud of. Excellent strategy and perfectly executed.
A great display of team spirit there, as everyone finally gets the chance to share this moment. As far as Ferrari are concerned, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling after that race?
They'll certainly be pleased to have made the podium. A job well done for sure.
And here
And despite all that, we've still been outscored by Cadillac, I think.
Next round, we're moving on to an exhilarating circuit. Formula One will be taking to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix.
I wouldn't exactly call the Hungaroring exhilarating, but whatever. There we go. Confirmation of the final result. It's a win and the fastest lap for Kimi Antonelli, who took pole as well. So pole, fastest lap and the win. Perfect weekend for him. Charles Leclerc started and finished in 2nd place. Fuji, actually having started 3rd, manages to hang on and claim the podium in the end. 4th place for Zhou. That's 27 points for us. But Oscar finishing in 7th place means it's 32 points for Cadillac. So despite 2 cars, 3rd and 4th, we still are outscored by Cadillac there. The gap will get even bigger. Tsunoda is 5th. Valtteri takes 6th place. Piastri up into 7th place. Good recovery race. At one point looked like he might even potentially be on for 5th place, and then, stuck it out on those wets, and it cost him. Logan Sargent is 8th place. Some good points there for Mercedes. George Russell gets a couple of much needed points for Aston Martin. They're now on to 6 points for the season, all courtesy of George. Max drops down into 10th for the final point. Let's take a look at the bottom half of the table. Porsche, with that last lap puncture, means he dropped out of the points and finished in 11th, 1 place ahead of his teammate Norris, who had an abysmal qualifying, up 7 places from where he started, but still, again, outside of the points. It's 13th place for Liam Lawson, 14th place for Gasly, 15th for Ocon. Stroll is unclassified, but technically finished in 16th place as he wasn't a lap down. 17th place for Alex Albon, 18th for Stoffel, 19th for Sainz, 20th for Perez, Nagel 21st, Iwasa 22nd. So we have a new championship leader. Kimi has gone 2 points clear at the top, moving ahead of Oscar Piastri. He's on 220 points, 218 for Oscar Piastri. 17 points further back is Charles Leclerc, who has taken a chunk out of Oscar as well. He is on 201. Joe on 144 is 3rd, 20 points ahead of his teammate. That's 5 podiums for the team now this season. 3 for Joe, 2 for Fudo. 78 points for Porsche. No points this weekend, and now he's just 1 point ahead of Yuki Tsunoda, who's 7th with 77. 66 points for Lando Norris in 8th place, 1 ahead of Max Verstappen, who's 9th. 10th is Lance Stroll on 50. Then it's Gasly with 27 points in 11th. 12th is Valtteri, also on 27 points after his result today. They are tied now. Iwasa on 19 in 13th. George gets his gets another points finish. He's up to 6 points for the season now in 14th place, 1 point ahead of Logan Sargent in 15th. Then it's Sainz with 16th with 1 point, 17th for Ocon, 18th for Albon, 19th, and up 2 places for Liam Lawson after finishing 13th today. Dropping down 1 is his teammate Sergio Perez. Also dropping down Ludwig Nagel into 21st, which means Stoffel continues to stay rooted to the bottom. In the constructors' standings, 32 points for Cadillac means that despite a strong race from us, we are losing ground yet again. They're on 438 points. We're on 260. We are now 170 points behind Cadillac there. But we have stretched the gap over Red Bull yet again. We're now 67 points clear of Red Bull. Looking very nice there. No points for McLaren. They stay 4th on 144 points. RB have taken another 10 out of them. They're 17 behind. Then it's Williams on 92 points. Sauber on 46. Aston on 6. Then it's Mercedes also with 6. Those two teams tied. Aston just ahead of them, but you got a feeling that Aston are going to fall behind Mercedes pretty soon. Alpine still no points for them in 10th. And Haas still bottom also with no points. Let's take a look at the pit stop competition. We got the quickest stop with Joe. We did not get on the leaderboard with Fudo, unfortunately. Cadillac gets 2nd place with Kimi, but no space for Oscar. Alpine get 2 cars in the top 10 in 3rd and 8th. Red Bull gets 4th place with Charles Leclerc. Aston getting 5th and 7th. Haas getting some points with Lawson. Mercedes and Williams picking up the last of the points. What has that done to the standings? We have outscored everybody. We're top with 320 points, nearly double Alpine now. We are 146 points clear. So we have this competition very much under control at this stage. Cadillac move above Haas by 7 points. They're now just 5 behind Alpine as they look to move back up the order, having slipped in recent races. Oh, excuse me. No points for RB this weekend. They stay on 131. They've lost a little bit of ground to Haas, and Aston have put a bit of pressure on them. They've taken 16 points out of them. They are now 17 points behind. Red Bull in 7th place have just 76 points. Williams on 45. Then it's Mercedes in 9th with 32 points, 3 ahead of Sauber. Still no sign of McLaren. Their quickest stop is still just 2.296, which is nowhere near. The slowest time today, less than 2 seconds. There's our driver stops. 1.999. There you see, just missing out by 6 thousandths against Max's time. Pretty good stop, but just not quite good enough. That would only just have been good enough, I think, for a couple of points. Where would that have been? That would have been 8th place. Maybe 7th place, because we would have actually dropped down from where we finished. But the second stop, the 1.183, easily the quickest stop of the day. Our pit crew is consistently pulling out lightning fast stops, if not always for both cars, and certainly for at least one of our drivers, which is amazing. Love to see it. This time we do get the full payout for both drivers beating their sponsor target, but we also have to pay out for both drivers beating their contract target of 8th place or higher. So it's 1.1 mil again added to the bank. Tour Center refurb is done. That'll go back to spitting out the full amount each week. About 95,000, I think. We have a regulation vote for next season. Let's take a look at our cars first. They came through completely unscathed, which is quite nice, and first time in a while, actually, that we haven't had to replace a part. Let's see. Regulation votes. It's looking at dropping down number of engines, ERS, and gearboxes. Yes. We probably won't be here, so let's see how the rest of the grid votes. The Tour Center refurb means it's paying out just under 97,000 a week now. Excellent stuff. Let's see what the board thought of that. They should be delighted. And they are, of course. Still disappointed with finances. Wow, how are we 1.7 mil in debt at the end of July? I don't get that. We haven't even finished July yet. It's only the 10th. How are we still? I don't remember us going into that much debt. Okay, that's not making much sense to me. As to why we're still having positive bank balances, yet still having debt showing every month. And that's early as well in the season for us to be in the month for us to be seeing that amount of debt. I don't get that. Comfortably smashing the objective there. Long-term targets is not going to be achieved, I don't think. They want us to win the Constructors' Championship. It's been going for several seasons, but this is the season that objective runs out, and we are just not quick enough to compete with Cadillac, unfortunately. Yeah. Still not sure where that debt has come from. Very strange. We have 11 days until the next Grand Prix. We have to, absolutely have to, before I forget, refurb the memorabilia room. Don't need to worry about the boardroom. The board are absolutely high on life at the moment, so they can be in a shed and they'd still be getting, delighted results for us every month or every race. So not worried about that at all. A year and a half to go for Fudo's contract. For Zhou's contract. Fudo only has 6 months left. Decisions. You know what? I may do one more year. I may see if I can bring Kimi in at the end of the season, partner him up with Mini, and make an Italian push for the title. I don't know yet. I don't know whether I want to do that or if I want to just start a new campaign on the PC. I will have to think about it. So sponsor money is 2.5 weeks away. So that memorabilia room, how long is that going to take to refurb? 6 days. Oh, that'll be fine. Hopefully that will get us back above our target in time to stop us from not getting the full payout from the sponsors this month. What else do we need to do? Advance time, I think. Something in the inbox. Low stock on chassis. Oh wow, I've got low stock on quite a few things. What are we building right now? I've got another underfloor coming. We're designing a front wing and a suspension. So we'll see if we can hold off on the suspension. Underfloor will take us to 3. Side pods we're okay at the moment. Chassis we're up to 3. Front wing 4. Rear wing 3. They're okay. How long till that suspension is ready? 21 days plus building time. It's another 10 days. 9-10 days. Yeah, I'm going to need to make another suspension at least. And we're at medium risk on that one. And that one. Ugh. Let's build 2. Yeah, I'm just going to build the 1. I can now install that new underfloor there. Give Fudo the boost. I'm going to build another side pod as well. Oh wait, are we working on... No, suspension we're working on. Yeah, let's get another side pod going as well. That's going to be all my money gone. Oh, that's more than I can afford, actually. All right. Chassis 500, I think. Yep, so 550. I can't do a chassis. I guess we hold that little bit of cash left. We'll get some more money in a couple of days from the tour centre. Memorabilia refurb is done. Underfloor is done, so we have that 1 spare underfloor now. There we go. We have our staff survey results. Biggest issue for the drivers is car performance and the engineers as well. Technical and aero chiefs are unhappy with the driver pairing. Biggest issue for Diego is the car performance and also for the reserves as well. Let's see how the grid's going to vote. Oh, wow. 7-4 against. No, 7-4 for reducing the powertrains down. So that's interesting. Mercedes voted against it, which surprises me because they've got the most reliable engine. I would have expected, Red Bull to vote against, given that their engine is the least reliable. Oh, come on. Every season. Again, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. Normally, I'll say, okay, let's approve the investigation, shut everything down, and then it's like 50-50 about whether it's going to be, actually have a problem or it's going to be fine. And yet, 9 times out of 10, if I deny the investigation, it's bad. So, yeah. That takes a little bit of time pressure off in terms of when the upgrades come, but it also means we're now going to have to make more spare parts or step the car back a little bit. Factory refurb is finally done. That should cheer people up in the technical team. There we go. Look at the effectiveness. It's jumped from 44% to 110. Development speed's gone up by 4%. Yeah, it had an immediate impact on Cardelay and Tondi. Let's take a look at the full report. So Tondi, he's still miserable about the facilities. Well, I would have thought he'd be a bit happier than that, but I like Cardelay. Again, maybe they're just not a high enough level for him. Be truly happy. Maybe he's just a miserable bastard, who knows. Well, there we go. We are prepped at the end of the stream now, ready for the next race. We've got 516k. Let me go ahead before I forget. Oh, God, of course, we've got to... Oh, no, wait, it's manufacturing, isn't it? Let's build that spare side pod. How much of a loss is it? quite a significant loss. Yeah, I'm going to need one. Especially as I'm not even designing them. I really could do with another suspension, but I don't have the cash. We'll have to do that when we come back from Budapest. How long now till those parts are going to be ready? Yeah, still 19 and 23 days. So we should still be able to get them on the car by Zandvoort. Front wings, definitely. Hopefully, the suspension. If not, we'll have them for Monza. Would have been nice to definitely have them on both cars. Yeah, the new suspensions on both cars for Zandvoort, but we'll see. And that is it for tonight. So we have achieved a fantastic result tonight, better than we should have done, simply because we were very, very clever with our tyres and managed to shred the tyres of some of the cars behind us. Ultimately, it really hurt Stroll, who had to box way earlier than planned, and then at the end his tyres exploded. Valtteri was able to hang on and still get some decent points, but some strange decisions from the AI, some understandable decisions in some places as well. We made exactly the right calls at the right times within a couple of laps of switching from maybe wets to inters, but going from inters to wets, we made the right call there. Staying on the full wets and not boxing for a second set was the right call. We could have maybe got an extra lap or two before we boxed for the inters, but going to the inters when we did was, within that 2 or 3 lap window was definitely the right call. And it rewarded us with a 3rd and 4th place finish tonight. Another podium, our 5th podium of the season. The recovery of Ferrari is well underway. Still chasing that first win. I can't see us getting it anytime soon unless something happens to a Cadillac. And maybe even to Charles Leclerc as well. But if anything does happen and we can continue to just find that little bit extra performance in the car, then who knows come the end of the season. Races like like Baku and Vegas could potentially, if we can get the right setup and the right balance in the car, performance-wise, we could potentially be in contention in those races. We'll have to see how we do. I would like to finish with a win this year, if at all possible. But given that Ferrari scored no points at all last year, and we have 268 and are comfortably in second place in the Constructors' Championship, I'd say already it's job well done, mission accomplished in terms of turning Ferrari around. We have got all the facilities now functioning at the proper level as well. So that now frees us up to have better performance potential in the second half of the season. As parts will develop a little bit quicker, they will manufacture a lot quicker. We can turn things around at a faster rate and get performance onto the car a little bit earlier than before. So, yeah, just 2 races to go for the mid-season break. We've got Hungary tomorrow, and then we've got Spa to close out the week. And then we will return from the mid-season break with Zandvoort and hopefully a pair of upgrades on the car, but at the very least, new front wings. And then we have our first proper home race. It's nice to have a sort of semi-home race at Imola, but Monza is the spiritual home of Ferrari. That's where I really want us to be able to compete as well. If we are really, really lucky, we might be in with a shout of a win at Monza.
because we do normally go very well there by protecting the tyres and sitting in the slipstream. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for Monza. We should have the front wings and the suspension on the car for that circuit. But we have a couple more races to get through before the mid-season break, and those upgrades go into production. So hopefully you will join me at the usual time of 8 p.m. tomorrow. If you have enjoyed tonight's race, then why not drop a like on the stream? If you're not yet subscribed, then consider subscribing to the channel as well. It's completely free, won't cost you a penny. And be sure to hit that bell to be notified each and every time the live stream goes live. I will be back with more F1 Manager very soon.